my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Go wish. Go wish. Go wish. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Versace on my wrist, baby, make a wish. You could sell your Rari, but you can't afford my outfit. Go wish. Go wish.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Havoc Esports Twitch and YouTube channel. I'm your host, HVC Luke, and we got a fantastic night tonight. We got the Academy League Split 2 playoffs, which will be starting here in just a couple of moments. It's going to be a fantastic set of matches tonight. All these teams trying to clinch themselves a spot in the end of the season playoffs, which will be taking place next week. So essentially the Split 2 playoffs, it's more just the end of Split 2. We call it the playoffs since we have the round robin, which leads into the top 6 teams playing in a single elimination bracket, kind of similar to a page playoff system that RLCS used to use in the regionals, but of course not exactly similar. The top 2 teams from the round robin, they get a bye into the semifinals, and then 3rd through 6 teams, they get to play in the quarterfinals, get warmed up for that semifinal. But overall, it should be a fantastic set of matches tonight. And without further, let's look at the bracket that we have here tonight. And I want to thank special shout out to our social media manager, Lazy. Thank you, Lazy, once again for all the graphics that you make. Make sure to give Lazy all the support you can whenever you do get to see him, whether he be in the chat or whenever he be on, of course, Twitter or any of our other socials. But look at the bracket we have here tonight. We have Slothdowns versus Havoc White. The winner of that match will play against Havoc Teal. And then the winner of Smoking Guns and Havoc Purple will be playing against Havoc Pink. And of course, the winner of the Teal and Pink matches will go on to the Grand Finals, and the winner of the Grand Finals will, of course, be the winners of Split 2 playoffs. But there we go, folks. A fantastic bracket ahead of us, a fantastic night ahead of us, and I can't wait to see how all our teams are going to do. But without further ado, we've been waiting long enough. Let's get the players in the match, and let's get started. Remember, we also have a special new thing to show here. We got the new Havoc Esports overlay finished and ready to go. And everybody, I believe this week it works. We got it ready in time for the end of the season playoffs, which are going to be starting next week. And remember, folks, this Sunday, we have a 1v1, a public 1v1 tournament, a $100 1v1 tournament. So make sure to go to our Discord, do !Discord, go to our Twitter, and find the link to Gorilla.gg page and sign up for our 1v1. If you want, and even then, if you don't think you're going to win, it's perfectly fine. You're still supporting yourself, you're getting experience, and you're supporting Havoc Esports as well, just by signing up for our 1v1 tournament. But thank you so much, everybody, here for watching the stream. Let's get started here in this first match of the night. Look at this, folks. We got both these teams starting scoreless in this game, as a matter of fact. Let's see if they can continue this form. Here we go. Ball. Back over now to Nano Voltage. Nano Voltage looking for the shot. Speed Demon looking for the save. Now, throughout this season so far, Speed Demon and his crew, they have had some high highs and some low lows. Slothhounds, they were third best team coming out of Split 1. They ended up only losing to Smoking Guns Gaming in Game 7 of the semifinals and Split 1 playoffs. And then in Week 1 of Split 2, they lost to newcomers. They lost to Havoc Teal. Of course, nowadays, we now know that Havoc Teal is the real deal. They're the first place team in the standings and even took on and beat the likes of took on the likes of Smoking Guns Gaming and beat them. So Havoc Teal on a really good standing right now. So Slothhounds, after that first loss, they of course thought they lost to newcomers. So it kind of carried on into them losing to a bunch of other teams that you wouldn't expect them to lose to. But they've recently got some wins back. They clinched the Split 2 playoffs, and now we're going to see them try and make their way for the first time to a grand final since the beginning of the season seeding tournament. Of course, now that would be a fantastic comeback season for them. Of course, at the beginning of the season, they got second place in the seeding tournament, and then they got superseded by Havoc Pink and Smoking Guns as one of the top 2 teams. And then now they're trying to fight their way back after a weak Split 2. They have had a really good end to it. The doubleheader actually worked really well for them, but now they're going to try and beat this new Havoc White team. And remember, if Havoc White right now are playing for their playoffs, they're playing for the Academy playoffs right now. Because right now they're in the same spot that Havoc Orange were. And Havoc Orange, they played in Split 1. Havoc White did not. So if Havoc White want to clinch the playoffs, they have to not only win this round, but they have to, I believe, win the next round as well to clinch the end of the season Academy playoffs, or if they want to steal it away from Havoc Orange anyway. But here we go. Everybody, let us know in either the YouTube or the Twitch chat, what do you think of our new overlay? I think it's really clean. That courtesy, of course, to Arctic and Finest for helping out with the coding and images. And of course, thank you as well to our wonderful executive board member, Tazaro, for setting it all up and making sure that everyone worked on it really, really well. Really, really hard. But here we go. Still tied at 0 in Game 1. Both these teams, of course, are going to be nervous. This is the playoffs. After this, Havoc White their season might be over if they lose this. So we're gonna have to see if they can try and win this match, win this series against a team that was third by 1 game in the last split. Speed Demon. Try to get the ball past 1. Couldn't do so, though. Ball will be back over. Taking possession here is Havoc White. They're looking to try and open up the scoreline here. Now, Slothhounds, they're normally a team that's had some issues with shooting in the past. But normally it's been bad shooting and then bad defense on top of that has led them to lose some games. But now it looks like they've really cleaned up their defense. And now they're taking their more slow, methodical approach towards the offensive end, which honestly might not be that bad of an idea. If your shooting tends to not be that consistent, or if your offense tends to not have a lot of shots, then fixing your defense first might honestly be a really good thing, because then you could really work on just getting 1 or 2 goals and just hold down the fort at that point. Here we go, folks. Ball through the air. Down to Nano Voltage. He's looking to try and get a 50 mid. Doug will stop that one from happening. And Speed Demon as well on the second man will get a 50. Ball still in the air. Sticky Kazoo looking to make the ball touch the ground. And ladies and gentlemen, in the first series of the night, we have Slothhounds and Havoc White in a 0-0 OT. Now, if that doesn't show both these teams want to win this series no matter what, I don't know what does. Havoc White, a new team coming in. Their Academy playoff chances on the line. Speed Demon. Back to Doug. Doug flicks that ball high into the air. Be back over to Party Shark. Party Shark now down to Speed Demon. Speed Demon ends up leaving it, and it's going to be up to Sticky Kazoo to try and clear this ball out to the midfield line. Here comes Nano Voltage looking for the solo play. Gets it around 1. Can he get the double on target? No, but he does center it mid. Still not enough, though. Sticky Kazoo has to get the touch on Party Shark. He will get the beat, and the ball will get sent out to the midfield line. Speed Demon with the pass back to Doug. Doug finds himself a little awkward, though, and is forced to put the ball into the corner. Speed Demon and Sticky Kazoo, they double commit. Speed Demon, the consistent defense that they've had all game, starting to break apart in the overtime. Whereas Havoc White, their pressure has only increased since the beginning of this game. Ball back over to the ceiling. Now over to Sticky Kazoo. Now Speed Demon, he's trying to set up his teammates again. We're starting to see a lot more of a mix-up on passes. Ball bounces off the crossbar, follow from Speed Demon, and it will still not find its way into the back of the net. That was the closest opportunity Slaughterhounds have had this game, which is honestly not very expected. We're used to them getting a lot more good chances, especially against a newer team, but the ball will bounce out mid, and a clear from Nano Voltage should buy some time for his team to get some boost and build some pressure on the offensive end, and they're already starting past mid, and Speed Demon, the captain, once again intercepts that ball in the mid. Here comes Nano Voltage looking for the shot. A 50 will bounce in kind of no man's land for a bit. Here comes Party Shark looking for the Doomsy Dish, setting up Florida Man. Ball back out the crossbar, and it gets cleared out. Ball now over to Nano Voltage. He passes that ball mid to Party Shark. Gets beat out to the backboard. Here comes the follow-up. Party Shark misses the ball. His teammate as well. Florida Man, last man back, has to get the touch. He gets the ball around two players. Sticky Kazoo looking for the quick counterattack. Over to Doug. Doug out the backboard looking for the double tap. Can't find the double. So close for the overtime goal winner there for Doug, but yet we're still tied at 0. And the shot from Speed Demon finds its way into the back of the net. There we go, folks. That's going to be game 1 going to Slaughterhounds. Now, that is a game if I have ever seen one, folks. There we go. Slaughterhounds going to take game number 1. There we go, folks. That's what we want to see. And look at the scoreboard there. So many players, everyone except Party Shark, actually, above 150 points. And honestly, it's probably not expected because we saw Havoc White. They had all the pressure. Games 1 throughout the entire game, into that overtime even, they had all the pressure. But even with that, they still didn't really have a lot of points. And Speed Demon will clinch out the winner there for his team. The series is still far from over there, folks. If that game was a 2.5-minute OT and it was 0-0, I mean, we can only imagine how the rest of the games are going to go. But here we go, folks. We're now going to be going into game number 2. We're going on to Beckwith Park Stormy here between these two teams. Let's see if Havoc White has what it takes to come back here in this match. Looks like the players have now been readied up. We're on to Beckwith Park. Let's see if both these teams have what it takes to continue to put on such a close fight that they had in game number 1. I believe they personally do have what it takes, but of course it doesn't matter what I believe. We have to see them execute it on the pitch. Here we go. Ball back over now. Back out to the side. Here comes Party Shark. He'll take that ball up the side wall, but he ends up leaving it, and his teammate doesn't go for it as well. We're starting to see Havoc White start to cede some pressure over to Slaughterhounds. Slaughterhounds had no pressure throughout the entire game until they finally scored. That was their really only opportunity we really saw them have any semblance of pressure, and they were able to score out their first bout of pressure. So now we have to see Havoc White try to get back to having the same pressure they had last game, while at the same time not overcommitting, which is definitely going to be a hard task. Here we go. Ball back out to the corner. We're taken away now by the hands of Havoc White. Havoc White not getting the most solid of 50s, and it's allowing Slaughterhounds to get some pressure here in early on in game number 2. Back out to the side wall. Followed up here now is Speed Demon. Speed Demon is getting beat to that ball as Havoc White are looking to try and create some opportunities. We're used to Havoc White setting up solo plays and 50-50s, but honestly, we haven't really seen much. We've seen some good shots on target, but at the end of the day, once you get to a high enough rank, just shots on target can sometimes be just giveaways of possession at times. But there we go. Party Shark will find the ball into the back of net for the first time. Havoc White are on the board. And look at this, Party Shark. He gets the 50 under the last defender, and he will get credited with the goal. That is what we want to see from Havoc White, folks. Havoc White, still a long way to go. They're still down a game in the series. But something we do have to bring up, though, is, oh my goodness, Shadow Slayer puts that in the back of the net. Havoc White up by 2. Ball does get put in a precarious situation there for Havoc, for Slothhounds, and they aren't able to get the read on that touch. And that's something we notice about Slothhounds is whenever they get the lead in a series, they seem to never be able to close it out easily. Every time we've seen Slothhounds win has been in a Game 5 situation or a Game 7 situation. Every time we've seen them lose has been normally in a Game 5 or a Game 7 situation. So now we're going to have to really see if they can pick up their consistency. Can they stop turtling up in net whenever they get in the lead in a series? It sounds like it would be easy, but some people's mentals tend to not understand how to fix that. What I would love to see from Slothhounds is no matter what the scoreline says, they should be executing their game plan from 0 seconds, from the beginning of the game to 0 seconds. And it does take a little bit of mental practice to get to that point. Right now, we're starting to see Havoc White, their mental is starting to show up here in game number 2. Havoc White, probably one of the few teams in Havoc at this moment in time that no matter what scoreline it is, no matter what the series score is, they play their game and they play it with confidence. And that's something that we don't see from a lot of even main league teams. So hopefully we can see Havoc White use this to try and tie up the series and try to bring it back. Ball back over now to Nano Voltage. Ends up missing the shot, and it'll be taken away by Doug. Doug looking for the 50. The demo happens off the play. And now it's going to be over to Sticky Kazoo. Sticky Kazoo loses the 50 back to Speed Demon. Speed Demon off the corner. Not able to maintain possession, though. And a pass mid might open up Havoc White for another goal, but it will be taken away by Sticky Kazoo and starts the counterattack. Nano Voltage pops it up the sidewall, looking for a demo to try and set up a teammate. Now be over to Sticky Kazoo, looking for a solo play. Actually, no, he's looking for a pass mid to Doug. Shoot! Goal! Slothhounds finally break in regulation. Look at that. Sticky Kazoo, he even faked out me. I thought he was going to go for a solo play, but he passes the ball mid, and he executes it. Now, something we do have to keep in mind in regards to Slothhounds is that tends to be their only offensive part of their repertoire. Whenever they're on offense, they always go for the midfield pass. Now, if it works against Havoc White, keep doing it by all means. But we do have to worry once they play against the better teams. Once they play against Havoc Teal again. Once they play against Havoc Pink. Once they play against Smoking Guns. They have to make sure they can open up their aggressiveness. They have to open up their creativity, because if they keep doing the same stuff over and over again, the top teams will find counters to them. Ball 50's off the backboard. Follow up here from Nano Voltage. He ends up passing it right mid to Sticky Kazoo. Shadow Slayer will get the save and a follow-up from Speed Demon. It was on target, but Speed Demon can't tie up the game in at that moment. Ball pass up mid. All 3 players there, and Doug finds his second goal. They have done it. Slothhounds have found a way to score more than 1 goal in a game, and they do so to tie it. But can they score goal number 3? The one they need to try and win this game, bring it to a potential sweep. Honestly, I don't know if they have what it takes. We've seen so many times in the past where even when they do tie up the game, they still aren't able to get the win. Maybe today's different. Maybe this tournament is Slothhounds' tournament. They have to start writing a story from the very beginning if they're going to try and win this tournament. And right now, if they're able to win this game, that's a story being prepared, starting to be written. And right now, their defense looks solid. They're starting to get some offensive pressure. But now it's going to be Nano Voltage looking to put a stop to any narrative that Slothhounds are trying to form. Party Shark, back to Sticky Kazoo. Over now to Shadow Slayer. He puts the ball high onto the backboard, looking for the read off the corner. That's going to be a miss from 3 players on both teams. Combining both teams, but now it's going to be over to Party Shark. He looks for the shot. Speed Demon with the save. Here comes Sticky Kazoo. He ends up missing that ball. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we might be seeing another overtime. Unless we can see there's a miracle touch here from Party Shark. Ball off the corner, down onto the ground. And ladies and gentlemen, for the second time in this series, we have overtime. Speed Demon off the side wall, trying to set up his teammate mid. Back to Sticky Kazoo. Looking to try and get a soft first touch there. Ends up giving it away, but a great follow-up. Might keep it on the offensive end, at least just for a moment. And now it's going to be over to Doug. Doug looking for the hat trick to try and clinch this game. Doug back out mid. Over to Speed Demon. They're both caught in the air, and Party Shark as one man gets the beat. But a great touch from Sticky Kazoo keeps the ball on the offensive end. Here comes Kazoo. Misses the ball again. Pressure starting to look like it's affecting the side of Slothhounds. But Speed Demon gets the beat pass too. Can he get it past the last member? There's only one person left. Passes it mid. And now it's going to be to Doug. Doug looking for the hat trick. Gets saved away by Party Shark. Ball bounces out mid. Demo attempt on the goal line. And a double commit from side of Havoc White is going to make it a little awkward for that team. But a poor 50 from Sticky Kazoo is now going to be up to him to try and get a solid touch. He ends up just giving it away, though. And it's going to be back over to Party Shark. Party Shark back mid to Nano Voltage, and Speed Demon will take the ball away. Now through the air is Doug. Looking for the solo play, but he's out of boost. And will now be up to Sticky Kazoo to clear this ball back. Gets the ball, and he gets the ball past the entire team. Nano Voltage can't get the touch. He misses. Here comes Doug. Gets a pancake, but he can't pinch the ball mid. Sticky Kazoo comes in to help Speed Demon looking for the shot. And now they have to rush back to their own end. Kazoo will get a touch. Now up to the backboard. Here comes Doug. Can Doug get the touch? He misses. Back over to Party Shark. It's off. Saved away by Speed Demon. Kazoo sends the ball down the pitch. Looking for the follow-up. Can he get the 50 on Speed Demon? No. Shadow will get the touch. Shadow again looking for the solo play. He misses, but a double commit from Slothhounds will open up the score. Now, we did see a double commit in the overtime last time. They just weren't able to get countered on by Havoc White. Maybe this time Havoc White can counter these misses and double commits that Slothhounds are showing to be prevalent in game number 2, as well as the overtime in game 1. But, of course, they managed to win game 1 with a brilliant pass and shot. But can they do it again? Nano Voltage looking for the solo play. Speed Demon will get the touch. Now, ball back over to Shadow Slayer. Taken away. Doug ends up not flying for the ball, and it's going to be a pass to Sticky Kazoo. He doesn't get the best of touches. Can Kazoo get the beat? This time, Kazoo does not miss. He passes the ball mid, setting up Doug, and Doug will send the ball into the offensive corner. Speed Demon not able to get the challenge he wants, and it's going to be Nano Voltage looking for a pass off the backboard. Gets the ball mid, and Doug once again with the save. Here comes Doug. Has a lot of time. Baits in one. Fakes him out, but a great dunk. We'll set up now Speed Demon. Speed Demon looking for the 50. Fakes it under one. Can't get it past the last defender. Here comes Sticky Kazoo looking for the solo play. Off the backboard. No follow-up from his team. And now it's going to be Speed Demon tasked to try and get this ball back out of his own end. Doug up to Speed Demon. Speed Demon misreads that one. And it'll be back over now to Shadow Slayer. Shadow Slayer leaves it for Party Shark. Party Shark now to Sticky Kazoo. He'll be taken into the corner. Sticky Kazoo once again pops it into the corner, and Speed Demon going to be looking to start the counter offensive. Speed Demon through the air. 50's that one, setting up Doug. Doug pops the ball high into the air. Doesn't take possession, but it lurks as a pass to Speed Demon. Down to Doug, and he can't find the shot. Here comes Sticky Kazoo. Back out to Party Shark. Party Shark looking to try and pass the ball out mid for Nano Voltage, but it's going to end up sending up Doug instead. Nano Voltage with a great dunk, though, will end up making it so Doug can't get an offensive started. Back over to Shadow Slayer. He misses the ball. Here comes the counterattack. Sticky Kazoo gets the win on the 50, but no one on his team is there, and Nano Voltage will now try to double tap this one out to the midfield line, but an interception from Speed Demon to keep the ball on the offensive end. Ball floating high. Speed Demon and Kazoo in the air. Kazoo got beat, but Speed Demon double commits with him, but a missed touch will let Doug get back. And Nano Voltage put the ball in the empty net, off the crossbar, and it bounces out to the midfield line. That was Havoc White's chance. 4 minutes into overtime now. Doug back out and saved away once again. Speed Demon looking for to get the overtime winner once again. Can't get it past Party Shark. To the backboard. Here comes Doug. Doug misses. Now it's going to be the Shadow Slayer. He pops the ball mid. Nano Voltage. Can he get the beat? Nano Voltage puts it off the backboard. Setting up Party Shark, but saved away by Kazoo again. Ball pass out mid to Nano Voltage. Havoc White get the goal. Havoc White tie the series after a 4.5-minute OT. What a fantastic match. And they managed to win in one of the most brilliant fashions possible. A pass in overtime. We didn't see a garbage goal. We saw a solid goal from this team. But oh my goodness, folks. Now that is a game if I've ever seen one. There we go. All right, so now we're going to be going into Now we're going to be going into the side. We're going to be going into Sovereign Heights to determine who will end up going onto match point next. All right, and it looks like we just got word Smoking Guns Gaming just swept Havoc Purple. There we go. Havoc Purple ended up getting swept by Smoking Guns. Smoking Guns looking to try and get to the grand finals once more. But now we're now going to be getting into game number 3. Let's see which one of these teams will end up going on match point first. Honestly, both these games have been to overtime. I don't know if it would be possible to predict who is going to win this, but either way, it's going to be close. Now, we do have to wonder, since Havoc White won an almost 5-minute OT, that's almost another game inside a game that Havoc White were able to take the win on. So maybe fatigue might set in for Slothhounds. We've seen Slothhounds, once they get put under pressure, they're not able to clinch out the win. So maybe it's going to put some extra pressure on them to try and win this game. If Slothhounds are able to win this game, though, I think they have what it takes to win this series. But if they lose this game, the pressure from the playoffs might be a little bit too much to bear. Ball back over now. Shot off target. Back over to Sticky Kazoo. And I'll be over to Speed Demon. Speed Demon now. Trying to maintain possession. As it not being able to get it over. But back over now to Speed Demon. He's through the air. Looking for the solo play. Party Shark not able to get the touch. Trying to get the read. And it will be touched out to the side. All right, ball back out in the middle. Touched away by Speed Demon. And we sent away now. Down the pitch, Fry Sticky Kazoo will end up getting an interception. And Shadow Slayer with a miss might allow Speed Demon to get the ball to the offensive end. Doug's going to be looking to try and see if he can reclaim at least one more goal. I mean, last series he was one goal off getting a hat trick to save that game. But just wasn't able to finish out in the overtime. But both of these overtimes right now from Slothhounds, they just honestly haven't looked solid. They haven't looked consistent. They start double committing. They stop trusting each other, and then there's honestly a lot more whiffs once we get to the overtime. So hopefully we can see them get into this next. Game. Try to score first. Avoid the overtime, because once they're in overtime, they honestly don't look consistent. And I know they did win the first overtime, but that was off of one good play, off of a whole 2.5 minutes of honestly not much. A lot of double commits, if anything. So now it's going to be Doug down the pitch, down to Sticky Kazoo. He looks for the redirect, but it's going to be up to Speed Demon now to keep this ball in the offensive end. Now back to Speed Demon. Speed Demon back to Doug. Doug looking for the shot, and he gets the goal. He has redeemed himself, and for the first time this series, we have seen Slothhounds take the lead. Of course, winning a 0-0 OT isn't necessarily taking a lead. It's more winning a game. But right now, so the first time that we've seen Slothhounds with a lead, let's see if they can keep it. Ball back over to Shadow Slayer. Flicks the ball over one. Can't get it past Sticky Kazoo, but he ends up setting up the other team, and that might be an empty net. A great touch from Shadow Slayer. And it looks like Slothhounds' lead, short and brief, has already been taken away. Here we go. Back to the kickoff. Let's see if Slothhounds has what it takes to take this next game. Ball. Shot. On target at the kickoff. Speed Demon gets credited with the kickoff goal. And oh my, that is not something Havoc White want to see after tying up a game. And look at that. Such a clean kickoff. And honestly, I can't tell if he touched the ball or not. Either way, it looked like the ball was going in. And Slothhounds once again reclaim their lead. Ball. Shot on target by Sticky Kazoo, and that's going to be a 2-goal lead now. Slothhounds. It only took them 3 games, but they finally are looking like themselves. They're starting to play confident on offense and defense both. And they're starting to act like they are the better team. Here we go. Back over to Shadow Slayer. Will be sent down to Doug. Doug puts the ball off the backboard. Will be followed up here by Party Shark. Party Shark ends up getting the ball around 1. Followed up here now by Nano Voltage as he sends the ball mid to Party Shark. Party Shark can be looking for an opportunity. Pinches the ball mid, or at least looking for a center. And it's going to be no one else but Doug to get a solid touch out. Another double commit from Slothdowns. Might allow a counter-offensive from Havoc White, but a great 50-50 from Speed Demon will stop it right there, right then. And now it's going to be up to Doug, looking for the solo play. Ends up leaving it. And a great demo will open up some space for Havoc White as Nanovoltage looks for a pop over 1, but Speed Demon with another brilliant challenge just keeps the ball on the offensive end. Every single time we think Havoc White are going to start an offensive, Speed Demon is there to get the 50-50, but finally, do we see the shot? No! Speed Demon again getting the save, and here comes Speed Demon looking to start the counterattack after a brilliant defensive fashion, and it will be taken away by Party Shark. That might be an empty net. Party Shark looking for the shot, and he gets the goal. I don't know what happened for Slothdowns, but it looks like just one player was gone, and it's now going to be a 1-goal lead for Slothdowns to try and maintain. One minute left on the clock, or almost the final minute of the game, and we still yet to see any total domination from either team that led to goals. We saw a brief stint of a 2-goal lead, the biggest lead in the series so far from Slothdowns, but pretty shortly after, we saw Havoc White come back and bring it back within 1. Slothdowns still in the lead, but honestly, right now, it's looking like we might be seeing a 3rd overtime in a row. Speed Demon, back over to Sticky Kazoo. Kazoo will be looking for a pass down the field. Speed Demon looking for a pass back mid. Can he get it? No, not able to, but it's going to be a setup from the other team, as a matter of fact. Doug not able to find the shot, though. And now here comes Party Shark, looking to start up the solo play. 50's the ball mid. It's over Nano Voltage's head, and Shadow Slayer will keep the ball on the offensive end. Shadow looking for an aerial demo, but Kazoo's too early in the air. And we'll keep this ball out. 18 seconds to go. Can Slothdowns maintain the lead? Can we see our first win not in an overtime? Our first regulation win. Ball back over to Shadow Slayer. He pinches that ball down the pitch. Doug your Gray manages to get the ball back. Ends up giving it right to Nano Voltage, though. Can he get the ball mid? No. Messes up his recovery. Ball has to be kept in the air. Here comes Party Shark. Flicks the ball high, and it looks like Nano Voltage might not be able to get to that ball. And Slothdowns will go on match point in our first match of the night. Here we go. Look at Slothdowns and look at their scoreboard. All 3 of them putting it up. It looks like their names are all really, really long, but still, it looks like we're seeing solid gameplay from all 6 players on the pitch. But this time, it's going to be Slothdowns that end up getting the win. Let's see if Slothdowns can do it again. Can we see Slothdowns get this final win, or will we do what Slothdowns always do and go to game 5? Honestly, I'm not too sure how this next game's going to go, but Slothdowns actually regained. I honestly wasn't expecting that, at least from past experience. We've seen Slothdowns, we've seen them get on match point, or we've seen them lose a bad match, and then right afterwards we see them end up losing the next game. But hopefully going into this next one, we can see them really step up, and maybe we can see our first Game 4 win from Slothdowns in a good little while. Here we go. All the players have readied up. On to Manfield Night we go. Let's see, does Havoc White have what it takes to bring it to Game 5? Will this be the only time this season that we have seen Havoc White not play their game? Because we have to remember, Havoc White, they have to win this if they want a chance to clinch the end of the season playoffs. We have to remember that they have to win this match to even have a chance to make it to the end of the season playoffs, have a chance to make it to the top 2, make it to the last chance qualifier. But right now, the ball will get sent down the field, and Havoc White, normally they're a team that no matter what the circumstances, they play their game. Will we finally see a nervous Havoc White? That's my main question. I, of course, don't hope to see a nervous Havoc White, but if we do, this would probably be the series to see it. Ball back to Speed Demon. Speed Demon looking for the solo play. Tries to get the bump on the last defender, but he's not able to do so. Kazoo pinches that ball down. Now, we've seen this before in Game 4s, from Slothhounds in the past, where they pick up a lot of pressure at the beginning of Game 4. They tend to hit every crossbar imaginable, and the other team gets an easy an easy counterattack goal. Let's see if Slothhounds have fixed that part of their game. Ball back over now to Speed Demon. Speed Demon to Party Shark. Party Shark back over now. Ends up getting beat. The Shadow Slayer, he puts that ball mid to Doug. Doug popping the ball high into the air. We're taken away here by Nano Voltage. He puts that ball forward to Speed Demon. Speed Demon looking for the follow. And now sent down the field to Sticky Kazoo as he tries to take possession. And honestly, Sticky Kazoo's probably had the best improvement from game to game. Games 1 and 2 in both overtimes, he was missing so many balls. And now he's been, honestly, one of the more consistent players on the pitch. Sticky Kazoo gives away the ball this time, but honestly makes it pretty awkward for Nano Voltage. Maybe it's enough to have Slothhounds continue to pile on some pressure. Ball bounces out mid to Doug. Doug gets the fake, but Shadow Slayer gets the bump, making sure to avoid getting the first goal on their team. Ball back over to Nano Voltage. To Doug. Doug looking to try and pinch this ball. Although I don't like what I'm seeing from Slothhounds now. They had a great bout of pressure at the very beginning, and now they're starting to kind of bang the ball away. They're giving it away, which honestly is right in Havoc White's wheelhouse. Havoc White love getting the ball for free. They love the solo plays. They love the possession. And they aren't able to get a good shot on target this time. But if Slothhounds don't clean up their possession game, it might be enough to give Havoc White the chance at Game 5. And of course, Havoc White, they're a team. Havoc White have only been playing since the start of this season. But honestly, it seemed like their mental has always been the best out of all the teams here. But can they get the save? They get the first save. Can they get the follow-up? Doug will get the 50 and the dunk in. That will be Slothhounds with the lead. And honestly, I don't know if the players are nervous or anything like that, but the mental from Havoc White has always seemed pretty solid, at least from a spectator standpoint. Because it seems like Havoc White, they don't change how they play. They play their game no matter what happens. Whether they're winning, losing, down in a series, or up in a series, we see Havoc White play their playstyle to the very end, and that's very hard for some teams to accomplish. And something that Havoc White are able to do. So maybe they're nervous, or maybe they're not, but at the end of the day, if you're able to execute your playstyle, it doesn't really matter if you're nervous or not, because you're able to play your game. But right now, Havoc White, they're down by 1. They have to tie up this game to even have a chance to bring it into a Game 5. Ball bounces out to the sidewall. Taken over now by Shadow Slayer. Shadow Slayer to Speed Demon. Speed Demon to Sticky Kazoo, and he puts that ball out to the side. Balled up now by Doug. Doug gets beat. The Speed Demon. Speed Demon with a shot. Taken away by Nano Voltage. Time continues to wane in this series, and Slothhounds looking closer and closer to being the victors and moving on to the semifinals. Now remember, if you guys are fans of either Havoc White or Slothhounds, whoever wins this, the next match will be on the B stream. If you go to twitch.tv/DeluxeDrew, the GOAT, he last second we had to ask him to help us out the alternate stream, and he said yes, and it's been a great thing to see. Deluxe Drew helped us out with one other alternate stream before, and it's some great quality. So make sure, no matter who wins this match, to check out his stream after this, because he'll be streaming that semifinal, whereas we will be watching Havoc Pink versus Smoking Guns Gaming, not in the grand finals this time. We'll be seeing them in the semifinals, so no matter what, we'll be seeing a new grand finalist at the end of the tournament tonight. But 48 seconds to go. Ball bounces out back to the backboard. Doug has to get the touch. He will get the first touch. Can he get the double? He does get a double, but he pinches it back to his own end. But a pinch will get sent all the way into the offensive half for Slothhounds. And Havoc White are going to look to start for the counteroffensive from their own half. Pass mid. Shot. No. Missed touch from Party Shark, but a follow-up will get some ball pressure on the offensive end for Havoc White. Can they get the beat? No, it's Doug. Doug looking so good this entire series. He may be a new person to Havoc at the start of this split, but he is fully rounded off into what is looking like more of a veteran player by the end of the season. Doug ends up getting dunked though. Shadow Slayer, can he get the pass out mid? A miss from Speed Demon. Ball from Party Shark. Will we see a 0-second goal? No! Slothhounds clinch it out and win the series in 4. Oh my, folks. Now that is a series if I've ever seen one. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. And look at that. Sticky Kazoo, Doug Grave stepping up, and Party Shark, he tried to do his best, but he wasn't able to clinch out the win for his team. But GG's indeed. Now, if we get to take a look at here at our bracket, we'll now be seeing Smoking Guns versus Havoc Purple. And then on the B stream, we'll be seeing Slot Downs versus Havoc Teal. And the last time they played in week 1 of Split 2, Havoc Teal came out in the Game 5 win. So make sure to check out twitch.tv/DeluxeDrew or stay here after the break for Havoc Pink versus Smoking Guns Gaming, the rival where Havoc Pink has never lost. It's always gone to 7 or 6, but Havoc Pink have yet to lose. Let's see if Smoking Guns can change that narrative right after this. So see you guys all here in a little bit. Peace.
watching the ocean with you. Baby up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our clouds when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Got me holding. And I'll be running, possessed by a low, low voodoo. Fired up like a wolf on a full moon. And we're stuck in a la la land. The tides will turn without us. And I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Play me like a bass guitar, simmer down and mess me up, tripping like I'm Jimmy at Woodstock. Drumming round in your red Ford, shivers down my spinal cord. Oh, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if I lost all my money,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back here to another week of the Havoc Esports Academy League. We are in the Split 2 playoffs, and we just came back from an amazing quarterfinal where two very, very long overtimes happened. Both teams winning one apiece, and then Slothhounds clinching it out in games 3 and 4 to move on to the semifinal. But you can see them versus Havoc Teal, the first seed out of the entirety of Split 2, on the alternate stream. So if you go to twitch.tv/deluxedrew, you'll be able to watch on the alternate stream. Otherwise, you can stay here. We got a fantastic rematch from the Split 1 Grand Finals last split. So last time these two teams faced off, Havoc Pink versus Smoking Guns, Havoc Pink won 4-2. And Havoc Pink, they have not lost a single series they have shown up to. They have one loss on record, and that was a forfeit. Every other match they've shown up to, they have won. And that's what we're seeing right here. Smoking Guns, they went into last week undefeated and then lost both of their last two series to go undefeated in the league play for Split 2. So, very interesting stuff. We can take a little quick look here at the bracket, courtesy of our social media manager, Lazy Wazy. Thank you so much for the graphic, of course. Now, if we look at that, we have Slothhounds have moved on to play against Havoc Teal. Again, twitch.tv/deluxedrew if you want to watch it there. And then now we're going to be seeing Smoking Guns versus Havoc Pink in a best-of-7 match. Now, this should be a fantastic match. It went to 6 last time. Maybe this time it'll go all the way to 7. The last time Smoking Guns were in a semifinal, they went all the way to 7 against Slothhound. So this should be interesting, and I can't wait to see how this match is going to end up going. But without further ado, we've taken enough time. Let's get into the second to last match of tonight, the semifinal between Havoc Pink and Smoking Guns Gaming. Here we go, folks. We're into the match. Let's see how this one ends up going. This match will be interesting. And, it'll be interesting one because we're seeing the likes of Mr. Chair back on the best car in the game, on the Dominus. Now, Zay, he stepped up last week. Zay, honestly, was probably one of the better players on Smoking Guns last week, but they can't stop Tricky. Tricky has crowned himself after last week as probably the most mechanical player in Academy. Or at least the best player in Academy. Last week, it was a toss-up between on if Kilo or Tricky were the best players in Academy. And right now, I think Tricky is the lead in that conversation. But Kilo, he's going to be looking to try and win this series and reclaim that title as the best player in the Academy League. And right off the bat, we're actually going to see Mr. Chair get a kickoff goal. They're going to be happy with this one. And it's going to be Unicorn Hunters. It looked like it was a free save and maybe a little bit of lag. Maybe he disconnected. Honestly, don't know what happened there. But something we do have to take into account is Havoc Pink, they're playing with Unicorn Huntress instead of Rebel. Rebel, of course, he used to be on Team Cypher, now known as Smoking Guns Gaming, and then he was replaced by Kilo. And then last week, Rebel showed up and actually helped Havoc Pink win that match. Now, to be fair, Havoc Pink have won this series with Unicorn Huntress in the past. So it's not impossible for Havoc Pink to win this. In fact, they're still the favorites, even with Unicorn Huntress, due to the past experience. Kilo gets the flip reset, but a great demo on the goal line. A great defensive demo will allow Havoc Pink to stay in a tied game. And already looking at this game, we can already tell just how much more mechanical both these teams are compared to even Slotdowns. Slotdowns, they went to Game 7 against Smoking Guns last split. But looking at them right now, looking at these two teams, oh my goodness, Tricky looking for a sidewall redirect. Unicorn Huntress can't get the backboard read, but Kilo will send the ball down the pitch. Now it'll be up to Tricky to try and stop this one. He clears the ball out to the sidewall. Can't get the 50. We'll be back over now to Unicorn Huntress. He sends that ball down the pitch. And I'll be taken here by Predude. Predude, can he get the touch? No. Ball pops out to the sidewall. And Unicorn Huntress will look for the follow. Ball back over. No, Kilo, he actually gets past the entire defense. What happened here? The defense parted like the Red Seas. And now we're seeing Smoking Guns take the lead. Predude, he ends up just getting beat. And it looks like Tricky just didn't read his teammate getting beat. So it's going to be a game. That's going to be a goal lead here for Smoking Guns. But they're going to be happy to take a goal lead here early on in game number 1. And honestly, if Smoking Guns want to win for the first time against Havoc Pink, I honestly need to see Smoking Guns show up even more than they have in the past. I would need to see them not only win game 1, but honestly, for Smoking Guns to win the series, I honestly would need them to win the first 2 games. If they don't win the first 2 games, I think the experience and even just the idea of trying to beat the undefeated Havoc Pink is going to be a toss. But here we go, folks. Continuing forward, both these teams looking solid, continuing to look good. And actually, it looks like right now we got an old Havoc veteran in Kratos. He participated on, I believe, Havoc Pink in Academy last season when they got 2nd place against Havoc Teal. It's actually, funnily enough, we got 2 different Havoc Pinks and Havoc Teals, but they are 1st and 2nd seed respectively in Split 2. But right now, Havoc Pink, they managed to score another one. It's going to be Tricky with a solo goal, as a matter of fact, bringing it back within, and that's, again, Tricky. And we talked about it last week. Even though we believe Kilo and Tricky to be the 2 best players in Academy at this moment in time, we talked about Kilo having a lot better team dynamic, whereas Tricky is literally the hard carry. Or at least that's the playstyle he plays. Of course, Predude and Rebel, when he participates, are very solid players, and they really amp up Tricky's ability to solo play. But it's just a different type of playstyle. But Tricky not able to read that one. Mr. Chair, another long shot will find its way into the back of the net. And honestly, how many of these goals is Mr. Chair going to find? He keeps finding goals from behind his own half line. And that's not stuff that you really want to be seeing if you're Havoc Pink. Unicorn Huntress gets the beat over 1. Followed up now by Kilo. Kilo back over to hits the ball over to the corner, and Tricky will try and pass that ball off the backboard. Mr. Chair intercepts, and Unicorn Huntress can't get the ball, and now it's going to be Mr. Chair taking his time, looking to try and set up his teammates, but it's going to be Tricky to keep the ball in the offensive end. Tricky again. Tricky versus Kilo. Tricky misses the read this time, but it's going to be Predude to save his team there. And Mr. Chair passing the ball down to Kilo. We're starting to see passing plays from Smoking Guns. However, in the past, we've noticed Smoking Guns, they don't play their game in they don't play their play style in every single game. Maybe in games 1 and 2, we see them go for a lot of demos and a lot of passes. But then by game 2, maybe they let up on some of the passes. And then by game 3, they don't have demos or passes. They kind of are just playing the game. But at least in game 1, Smoking Guns have opened up strong and have taken a 2-goal lead. Let's see if they can keep up this form. I mean, I've said this every time we have watched Smoking Guns play. It's been a story of, can they finally play their game throughout an entire series against one of the top teams in Academy? And it's something we ask the chat every single time, and so far Smoking Guns have not found an answer. Maybe this Split 2 playoffs will be where they can finally prove to themselves that they can win against Havoc Pink. Otherwise, we might just be seeing Havoc Pink win this and go on to be a two-time Academy Split winner. And I would tell you guys right now, we have never had separate winners in Academy since the Academy started. It started out with Havoc Orange. Back when Academy first started, Havoc Orange didn't lose in any playoff game. Oh my goodness, that ball might be floating towards an empty net though, and Predude will get the goal. 24 seconds left to go, and we're back to a 1-goal deficit. But as I was saying, every team that has won in Split 1 in Academy has also won Split 2. And we have never seen separate winners since Academy started. So, hopefully this will be the difference maker here. Maybe Smoking Guns can win here in the semifinal, and no matter what, we will have new winners of the split. Of course, we can see we want Havoc Pink to come back for the grand finals at the end of in the Academy playoffs next week, but that's of course next week. Right now, we want to see some upsets. We want to see some games, and right now, we want to see if Havoc Pink can score here at 0 seconds. They've kept the ball up, and the Predude passes the ball mid. Unicorn Hunt just floats through the air, but Zay touches it. Kilo gets the beat. Can Tricky keep the ball in the air? No, the ball will touch the ground. And game number 1 will be going over to Smoking Guns Gaming. And look at that, folks. Look at the scoreboard. Kilo, Mr. Chair, and Tricky with so many points that game. But Smoking Guns only with a 1-goal lead. Again, Smoking Guns still have to improve a good bit. But maybe this will be their series. They took game 1. I did say if Smoking Guns want to win this series, I do believe they have to take game 1. And they've done it. Now, it's all about working on getting that second game. They have to keep taking it one game at a time. We can't see Smoking Guns let up on what's allowing them to win. They have to keep those demos up. They have to keep those passes up. If they drop off on any of those two things, we will see them start dropping off. But here we go. Smoking Guns probably looking confident after this game. And it will be goal number 1 on the board. Now, oh, Lobby kicked him, so we're going to restart here. We're going to restart the match here, folks, because looks like Predude ended up not being in the lobby. But we'll get started up here very, very quickly. But still, it's gonna definitely help Smoking Guns a little bit that they were able to get that first goal. Even though we have to restart the game, they were able to get that first goal. They're able to continue with that aggression. Granted, they were 3v2ing, but hopefully it's enough for them to be able to get a solid win. And welcome, looks like we have a new person to the chat, Megalodon. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the Academy Split 2 playoffs. For a first-time viewer, you're coming in right when it's getting exciting, the Split 2 playoffs. So, honestly, can't wait to see how the series ends up going. Right now, we're just waiting for Havoc Pink to join back in the lobby, and then we'll be able to get started here with Game 2 in this best of 7. Havoc Pink had to do it. They had to make it so we're a little antsy. Yeah, we had to wait just a little bit. So let's see what's going to happen here once Havoc Pink joins back. Will Smoking Guns be iced up here just by a little bit of a break? Or will the momentum from them getting the first win still carry over? Let's get started. The players have joined. Let's get going. Havoc Pink versus Smoking Guns, Game 2 on Beckwith Park Stormy. Let's see if Havoc Pink has what it takes to tie the game. And honestly, we know they have what it takes to tie up this series. But will Smoking Guns be able to hold off the inevitability that Havoc Pink is? And right now, it looks like they're in a good fashion, just as they did at the beginning of game number 2 before we had to reset the server. They are going to score first again. That's what we love to see. Unicorn Huntress back over now to Kilo. Kilo misses, and Tricky will end up getting the touch out to the side. Back over now to Zay. Zay trying to maintain possession. Can he get the ball out mid? It's going to be Kilo now centering it to Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair finds himself awkward, flies right back down to the ground. And now it'll be counterattack central here for Havoc Pink. But once again, they're not able to connect, and that's going to be a miss. Kilo finds the back of the net. And that will be goal number 2 for Smoking Guns. Smoking Guns, looking more confident than ever, are looking to try and get the win here in game number 2. Now, if Smoking Guns can get the second win for this early in the series, I can see them continuing this high if they can keep playing their game. But of course, we've seen them win the first 2 games of a best of 5 and then start slowing down. So it's still a matter of time to see if Smoking Guns are going to be able to keep up this form. But a good touch from Mr. Chair sets up Kilo. That will be a third goal. And only 45 seconds into game number 1, we're seeing Smoking Guns with the lead. And again, it's not the best of touches from Unicorn Huntress. Back to the kickoff we go. Little awkward for Predude, but he does get to the beat. Is he setting up Tricky? Tricky shoots. Tricky gets the goal. 4 goals in the first minute of the game. 3 for Smoking Guns, 1 for Havoc Pink, and this one's gonna be set up by Predude to Tricky. Tricky is just too speedy sometimes. Manages to get that one straight into the back of the net. And now it will be up to Smoking Guns to make sure they don't throw it away. They had a 3-goal game in the first minute, and they've already brought it back within 2, and we're still within the first minute. So let's see if Smoking Guns can at least hold the scoreline for a little bit. They're, of course, going to be looking to try and extend it, but right now they want to make sure they don't toss away the scoreline that they already got. Kilo looking for the 50. Puts the ball over now to Zay. Zay gets the beat over 1 to Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair to Predude. Predude. Can he get the ball? Get around the ball? He does get a touch. Unicorn Huntress looking to try and help him out. Tricky gets the touch out, and Predude with a great follow-up will send that ball into the midfield. But a miss from Unicorn Huntress might allow Kilo to set up a solo play. Kilo fakes it under, but he can't get it past the defenseman. Mr. Chair off the sidewall, setting up Zay. Zay off the crossbar. So close. But the ball will ricochet off the crossbar, and Smoking Guns still only with the 2-goal lead. Mr. Chair to the side wall. Now over to Tricky. Tricky gets the beat on 1. We'll be back over to Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair to Predude. Predude gets the beat over 1 to Zay. Zay setting up Kilo. Can Kilo get the touch? Kilo sends the ball high. It's off. It's in. Kilo puts the ball in the back of the net, and we got another goal. Back to the 3-goal lead. And just, I don't know what it is. Smoking Guns for the first time against Havoc Pink, they're looking like the team we expect them to be. The team that we see in game 1s against all the bad teams, in their opinion. We're starting to see that against the good teams now. And look at how they're going. Look at how they fly. They're continuing to put shot after shot, save after save. They are not letting Tricky as a one-man army get onto the offensive end. Havoc Pink are going to have to do what they started off this season so well doing and look for more passing opportunities if they want to try and come back, not only in this game, but in this series as well. Zay looking for possession. Down the Tricky. Tricky doesn't get the best of touches, but Predude dusts Mr. Chair to the ball. Will now be over to Kilo. Kilo off the sidewall. We'll be looking for the follow-up as Zay. Zay puts it off the sidewall. Followed up here by Tricky. Tricky now with the follow-up. We'll be back over now to Kilo. Kilo couldn't get the beat, and will now be taken by Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair to Tricky. Tricky now to Zay. Zay will end up getting the pop off the sidewall, and he's not able to get the best of touches, but a beat from Unicorn Huntress might allow some opportunity, but a great challenge from Smoking Guns will keep the ball out of harm's way, at least for now, as Tricky's looking to set up his teammates mid. Viddy's the ball mid. Pre-Dude with the follow-up. Mr. Chair gets dunked. Ball still on the offensive end for Havoc Pink, and Unicorn Huntress, he had an empty net. It's off the crossbar and out. Havoc Pink can't buy a goal. The corner, to the wall, back over to Tricky. Tricky trying to take possession here off the sidewall. Ends up letting it bounce, passes the ball mid to Pre-Dude, and he will be taken out to the side. Unicorn Huntress is going to be looking for the follow-up now. He ends up getting beat. Back to Tricky. Tricky gets beat now. Over to Mr. Chair. He looks for the shot. It's going to be way off target. And now as we're reaching the final minute, Havoc Pink yet to find any goals. Smoking Guns looking to try and be the team to score last in each game. Keep that momentum going from one game to the next. Ball into the midfield line. Back to Kilo. Kilo will be back over to Pre-Dude now. Pre-Dude down to Tricky. Tricky sends that ball down the pitch, and Zay will intercept it and take the ball for himself. Look at him. He's slow playing. He's making Havoc Pink come to him. Now, if that isn't confidence, is that showing Smoking Guns are ready to finally win a tournament, their first tournament since removing Rebel from the roster? That would be something special. Pre-Dude. Sent the ball over now to Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair to Tricky. Tricky trying to maintain possession. Not able to get the best of touches, though, and it'll be now over to Pre-Dude. Pre-Dude to Zay. Zay back to Tricky. Tricky can't get back to that ball. It gets back to the ball, though. Passes the ball mid. No one on his team is there. Mr. Chair setting up the solo play. Looking for the double, and Pre-Dude will get the touch. Pre-Dude, he's not going to be missing any more free balls. He ended up missing one ball that led to a goal. But now we're going to be seeing him continue to clean up his act. And going into Game 3, I don't expect Game 3 to be anywhere near as free as it seems for Smoking Guns. And with Havoc Pink scoring at the end of Game number 2, maybe it's enough to build some confidence and some momentum for Havoc Pink to try and clutch out and get the win and bring this series back. Because the Smoking Guns are able to win Game 3, that means Havoc Pink will have to reverse sweep to keep their record of beating every single series that they show up to. And now the ball will hit the crossbar and touch the ground. Game 3 now will go to Smoking Guns. Game number 2, will go to Smoking Guns Gaming. And we'll now be going over to Sovereign Heights to see which team will end up getting the win. Overall, though, was a solid game, I do have to say, from Havoc Pink. They did let in a lot of goals off of individual mistakes, but rotationally, they were looking pretty good. We're now going to be going over to game number 3 on Sovereign Heights. Will Smoking Guns be able to do what they weren't able to do last time? Now, it looks like Rebel saying in chat is because he's not playing. Although I will say Havoc Pink, without Rebel, were able to win the last time these two teams matched up. But of course, Rebel does bring a certain amount of consistency to that squad. Maybe that's how they were able to be undefeated. Maybe they were just lucky to get undefeated in the last split. And Rebel could have brought them that consistency. Either way, we're going to be seeing Havoc Pink in the Academy playoffs next week. Hopefully we get to see Rebel in the full-on overall Academy playoffs next week. But overall, it's still going to be fun. It's still going to be solid. And I can't wait to see if Smoking Guns can put Havoc Pink on match point for the first time in a best-of-7 series. Now, I believe both teams are back and ready to go. On to Sovereign Heights we go. Havoc Pink versus Smoking Guns. Let's see who has what it takes to get the win here. Will we see match point for Smoking Guns, or will we see Havoc Pink do what they've done every single series and start bringing it back? And Pre-Dude, carrying off his momentum from the end of last game, will score first. It's off of a pretty poor demo attempt from Smoking Guns as well. They end up overcommitting, going for a useless demo, and it ends up opening up a goal. Now, I will say, going for demos is not useless. It is a part of the game. However, you have to know when to go for demos. If you're just chasing demos, you might not be doing your job. Sometimes it's better to go for the ball over a car. But Zay, with a very useful demo that time, will open up some space and pinch the ball down to Kilo. Kilo pops the ball into the air. Setting up his teammates now. We'll be back into the hands of Unicorn Huntress. Unicorn Huntress to the corner. To Kilo. Kilo not able to get the beat. Move back over to Tricky. Tricky gets demoed, and Kilo gonna be looking to try and pass the ball mid. Misses the touch though, and off the spawn. Looks like Havoc Pink are a little awkward, but Zay will keep the ball on the offensive end. Zay looking for the shot, looking for the goal, and Smoking Guns are back on the board. They are not slowing down today. Look at Mr. Chair. Continues to go for demo after demo. And now we're seeing Smoking Guns, what they really are made of. Zay loses the ball back to Kilo. Kilo looking for a solo play, but Tricky off the ceiling with the challenge. We'll keep the ball out of harm's way. Zay ends up getting bumped, though. Setting up is Unicorn Huntress. He can't get back to it. And back over to Kilo now. Kilo misses, though. We've seen this from Kilo. This is why some people claim that Tricky is probably the best player in Academy. We see Kilo, when he gets put under pressure, sometimes the mechanics kind of disappear. Whereas with Tricky, his mechanics are there until the very end. Whereas with Tricky, he probably sees himself as a little bit more of the carry, so maybe he doesn't have as much pressure under him. Maybe Tricky on a team of equals. Maybe if he plays in main league next season, that would be maybe that would be where we finally see Tricky looking a little bit more nervous. But Zay can't get the ball past Tricky. And then Mr. Chair is going to take his time. Ends up missing the flick though. Opportunity for Havoc Pink, and Kilo will bail Mr. Chair's dunk out. Zay pass to Kilo. We're still seeing some passes from Smoking Guns in a tied game. Havoc Pink, they cannot lose this game. If they lose this game, they will be forced to have to try and reverse sweep in a best of 7. And oh my goodness, that would not be something that Smoking Guns or Havoc Pink would ever want to do. But here comes Kilo, has an empty net. He misses. He could have let that ball bounce in, and he clears it out of the net for him. Havoc Pink will say, "What a save to him!" And the back over now to Mr. Chair. Back off the backboard. Freedom ends up missing. Back over to Zay. Zay trying to maintain possession now. Can he get the beat? He gets the beat past 1. Can't get the ball mid, though, off a Unicorn Huntress. And now it'll be up to Kilo. Try and pass the ball mid. Pinches it to Mr. Chair. Chair keeps it on the offensive end. Can he get a pass out mid? Can he center it? Actually, he goes just for the shot. Zay gets the goal. Go-ahead goal for Smoking Guns Gaming. This is what we love to see here, folks. Smoking Guns, 2.5 minutes on the clock. Continuing to look solid, continuing to look good. Let's see if they have what it takes. All back to Zay. Zay. Looking for the ball. Gets the 50 past 1. Back over now to Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, can he get the beat? No. But it's going to be over to Kilo, and Kilo finally redeems himself from saving his teammate's shot. There we go. Smoking Guns now up by 2 goals. Looking to try and go on match point as early as possible. They're looking to win this series in 4. The last time these two teams played, it was won in 6 by Havoc Pink. And it looks like Smoking Guns, slowly but surely, they've been improving throughout this entire season on their consistency. Will they finally show all the hard work has paid off here in the Split 2 playoffs? Unicorn Huntress gets the beat past 1, gets the beat past 2, and Unicorn Huntress will find the back of the net. Look at that. Unicorn Huntress, he wins the 50 on Zay, continues to fly past it, and completely does Zay to Mr. Chair to that ball as well. Goal number 2, and Havoc Pink back within 1, and they have 2 minutes left to try and tie it up as well. Tricky not able to get the touch he needs. Back over to the side wall. Back over to Kilo. Kilo puts it top left corner. Top left Kilo. He finds himself a second goal. And they're back within a 2-goal lead. And look at that. It's Mr. Chair opening up the net. And Kilo slots it past the last defender. Smoking Guns are so solid when they're able to execute their game plan. And they've now done it for 3 games in a row. Something we've never really seen from them. We've seen them do it for 2 games, and they kind of scramble to try to get the rest of their wins. But right now, we're seeing them look to get their first clean series win. And Kilo now finds himself with the hat trick, looking to take on and beat the Split 1 champions. Fantastic stuff from Havoc Pink and Smoking Guns, but Smoking Guns have just looked that little bit better. This is the first time I've really been able to see any form of consistency from Smoking Guns. It's been amazing to see, and that's what this league is for teams to continue to grind, continue to improve your consistency, take the coaching, and improve yourselves as a team. And we're finally seeing that here. In the semifinals of Split 2, we're seeing finally all that hard work and improvement throughout the season is showing up. And here comes Kilo. Pops that ball high and through the air, looking for a fourth goal. Mr. Chair will 50 that one, but with a minute left on the clock, 3-goal deficit. It looks like, folks, in order for Havoc Pink to win this, they're going to have to win 4 in a row. Which, of course, isn't impossible. They got to take it one game at a time. But honestly, who knows what their mental is looking like right now? I mean, ever since they added Rebel to the squad, maybe Unicorn Hunt just feels like he's the issue, and maybe his confidence levels aren't as high. So what I would love to see from Havoc Pink in this next game, do whatever they can to really amp up Unicorn Huntress mental. Play as a team. And try to take it one win at a time. Because otherwise, Smoking Guns are looking to finally beat the undefeated streak of Havoc Pink in matches they show up to. But oh my goodness, that's going to be history right here if Smoking Guns are able to get the win here in game number 4. And there we go, folks. One final goal for Mr. Chair. So that's going to be at minimum 1 goal for each player. Mr. Chair with 1, 2 from Zay, and now 3 from Kilo. So all 3 players managing to get a goal there in that game. And now Smoking Guns finding themselves on match point in game number 3, after game number 3. Now, we're going to be going on to the final match. And honestly, look at the stats there. All 3 players on each team's showing up, but Kilo in that game individually was the best Kilo we've seen in a live stream setting. Now, granted, I've seen him in ranked, I've seen him in replays, look amazing, but that was the first time we saw Kilo step up in a Havoc match on stream, and he's doing it in one of the most important matches of Smoking Guns the entire time. It looks like we're going to be resetting the server here, as Smoking Guns have requested. I don't know why they need a new server. I mean, they've been dominating. But now we're going to be going on to Manfield Night. Let's see if Havoc Pink has what it takes to try and win here in now in 7. We have to see 4 games in a row in order for Havoc Pink to try and get the win. And honestly, I don't know if Havoc Pink has what it takes. We've never really seen them in a reverse sweep situation before. We've seen Havoc Pinks in a game 5 before. We've never seen them in a game 7, but we've never seen them in a situation where they have to reverse sweep their opponents, let alone opponents that are looking the best that they ever have in Havoc. But the players have joined the lobby. We are now going into, folks, Manfield Night. Do Havoc Pink have what it takes to pull on a Havoc special? Now, I will say, I will claim even that Havoc Esports is probably the most best-of-7 reverse sweeps since we formed as an organization in public tournaments with our teams and even in our leagues. We have seen so many best-of-7 reverse sweeps. Will Havoc Pink be able to do it? Or will Smoking Guns be able to prohibit their team from getting reverse swept as many other top teams have in the past? But here comes Tricky off the ceiling, looking for the shot. Goal number 1 for Havoc Pink, and Smoking Guns already letting Havoc Pink score first. Now, Havoc Pink, they're going to have to try and carry this momentum. If they let this game get tied up early, it might be over. Right off the kickoff, we're seeing Kilo takes possession. He ends up giving it away, though. That's something we've seen in the past from Smoking Guns. When they start to get nervous, they start playing boom ball. Now, the first 3 games, we saw all 3 of them take possession, but a giveaway from Kilo is going to lead straight to a second goal. And already in the first 30 seconds, Smoking Guns not playing like they were in the first 3 games. And it was nice to see Smoking Guns be here for 3 straight games, but It had to happen at some point. Once Smoking Guns get to match point, it's like a switch is flipped off. And they're not playing like they're supposed to. Let's see if they can fight back, though. They've been scored on first earlier this series. It's just they've never been scored on 2 times in a row by Havoc Pink this entire series. Mr. Chair looks for a pass down the field to Zay. Zay going to be looking for a pass out off the corner. Setting up Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair able to get the touch. Back out mid to Kilo. Kilo misses his shot. We saw Kilo hit the ball on target seemingly without failure in the previous game. And he's already missed 1 shot in game number 4. Zay looking for the pass out mid. Looking for the air dribble. Gets 2 to commit, but no goal. Pinch out mid for Mr. Chair, and Unicorn Huntress misses that one. Predude gets dunked out by Zay. Opportunity for Kilo. Can he find the shot? Looking for the shot. It's off the crossbar. Follow from Zay. And Smoking Guns have brought it back. Maybe it was just a bad start, and they've already brought it back in game number 4. Can they keep it going? Honestly, I don't know how the rest of this game's going to go. But if Smoking Guns can play their game all the way through, I think they have what it takes to sweep. Here we go. Mr. Chair pops the ball off from the corner. Looking for the follow-up is tricky, but he can't get the touch, and Zay will be looking for a solo play, but it's way too hard. It'll be Predude now, who drops it down to Kilo. Kilo ends up giving away possession again. Kilo. We have to make sure we're taking possession every single game, bro. And you have to make sure, if anything, that's the one thing you focus on. Because that's normally the one thing that falls off for Kilo. Kilo ended up giving away free goals in the last time we saw him on stream. Ball back over to Zay. Kilo on low boost, ends up leaving it, and Unicorn Huntress will look for the follow. Back to Predude. Predude now to Zay. Zay looking for the follow. And we'll be taken over now by Kilo. Kilo to Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair sends the ball forward now. And it'll be back over to Kilo. Kilo does get a solid touch. And it'll be Zay trying to send this ball through the midfield. Gets the 50 around 1. You're looking for a potential pass out mid. He fakes out. It's an empty net. Can Kilo put it in? And Kilo has redeemed himself off the hard work of his teammate Zay. And look at that Zay. He fakes it around Tricky, gets it around to Kilo, and Kilo puts it right past Predude. And Predude, he was close to getting that touch. If Kilo's shot got saved there, that may have been able to be enough to kill Kilo's confidence. We do have to remember, Smoking Guns have never beat Havoc Pink. So even though they're on match point right now, it's guaranteed they got to be a little nervous. But here comes Zay through the air, getting the reset. Can he get the follow? No, and the ball will be sent all the way down into the defensive half of Smoking Guns. Mr. Chair tries to set up Kilo, and that'll be off the backboard, and the ball will be sent all the way to the side wall, where now it's going to be up to Unicorn Hunt just trying to set up his teammates. Passes the ball off to the backboard. No one of his team's there. Back to Tricky. Tricky down to Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair sends the ball to the side wall. Be over to Unicorn Huntress. Unicorn Huntress off to Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair to Predude. Predude looking for the solo play. Can't get it past the defense. Havoc Pink yet to score a goal since Smoking Guns have gotten on the board themselves. Zay sends the ball forward, and that will be a goal. Goal lead for Smoking Guns. They're looking to try and take it here. And everybody, it looks like we just got word. Havoc Teal have won 4-1 against Slothdown. So we are, no matter what, going to be seeing a new team in the grand finals. And Havoc Teal, I believe, with that win, have clinched the Academy playoffs, as they are now a top 2 team in the split. Tricky sends the ball forward off the side wall to Predude. Predude looking for the follow-up. Can he get the touch? No. Back over to Kilo. Kilo to Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair to Predude. Predude through the air. He's not able to get the touch he wants. And now back over to Predude. Predude gets beat by Kilo. Still keeping the lead is Smoking Guns. 1 minute until they have clinched themselves the grand finals. Let's see if they can keep this lead. Ball to the side wall. Through the air now is the ball just floating down. Mr. Chair had a shot. That would have been the clincher. But here comes Tricky. He opened up the scoring here today. Can he bring it back? Can he get another one on the board? Predude pops the ball to the sidewall. Unicorn Huntress looking to get the goal. Ends up getting beat, but it's back to Predude. Predude gets the beat. Looking for the double, but he misses the empty net. And that might be it, folks. But still, 30 seconds left. Kilo, can he get the goal? Predu gets the save, setting up Tricky. Tricky now looking for the solo play. Looks the ball past one, and Zay will get the possession. A brilliant possession at that. Keeping it on his own backboard. Here comes Kilo. He puts the ball at the sidewall, setting up Zay. Predu gets the beat, and Kilo just sends the ball into his own corner. Don't panic now, Smoking Guns. You still got to finish out this game. 5 seconds to go. Ball back to Zay. Zay pops the ball through the air. Predude looking for the shot, and Mr. Chair hits the ground. Smoking Guns sweep the undefeated Havoc Pink. What a match, folks. Smoking Guns finally dethrone the Split 1 champions of Havoc Pink. So, folks, we will be taking a little bit more of a break as we set up for the grand finals. So if you do see the timer get reset one time, it might happen. But after the break, we are going to be having Havoc Pink. Sorry, no. We are not going to be having Havoc Pink. We're going to be having Smoking Guns versus Havoc Teal. See you guys all in a bit.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go.
Feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. Oh no.
Entombed in my mind, can't seem to break away. Lost in time, thinking about better days. Do you ever get used to the pain? 'Cause I don't know if I can do this again. Now you got me wondering why you let me die alone inside. I died for you, I cried for you, I tried for you. Tell me why you left me bleeding. I died for you, I cried for you, I tried.
just lit this town like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
in my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels, they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again, just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Staying up when I go out, you gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away, and I fucking love how it hurts. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back here to another week of the Havoc Esports Academy League. I'm your host, HVC Luke, and today I'm actually being joined by a co-commentator, the man who helped run our B stream tonight, Deluxe Drew. How are we doing? I'm doing really well, thank you. And, well, before we get into this grand final, us on the main stream here, we kind of missed out on some of the ongoings of the B stream. Excuse me. Yeah, we missed on some of the ongoings of the B stream. Would you want to give us a little bit of an update on how the quarterfinals and the semifinals ended up going?
It's my place here. So we had Smoking Guns Gaming, who is our one participant for the grand finals tonight. They 3-0'd Havoc Purple. It was a real close series, and Havoc Purple is actually making a little bit of a comeback in games 2 and 3, but ultimately they were going to get swept by Smoking Guns, who ended up having that match over on the mainstream, against Havoc Pink to make it to where they are here. That rematch from Split 1, which was on that mainstream, which was a pretty crazy series. But the other match that I had, we ended up having Havoc Teal and Sloth Hounds, who you also had on the mainstream. And Havoc Teal came out of that one 4-1. Sloth Hounds went down 3-0 in that series pretty quickly, and they did take game 4. But Havoc Teal was able to clean it up there in game 5, and they had some pretty commanding victories there. Also some pretty cool clips and redirects and things like that. But that was the action that we had tonight over on the B stream.
Yeah, it sounds very exciting. And of course, on the main stream, we saw Slothhounds and Havoc White. 2 very long overtimes, but Slothhounds did end up clutching out with the win. Just to end up losing once again to Havoc Teal. That must have been a very interesting series, because the first time Havoc Teal and Slothhounds played, it went all the way to 5, and Havoc Teal took it, and that was their very first match on stream. So, Slothhounds, honestly, I was expecting them to make the grand finals, but Havoc Teal are here. And then last series, we saw Havoc Pink, who never lost a single series that they showed up to, lost their very first series earlier today, in the semifinals against Smoking Guns. So Smoking Guns, they're warmed up. They finally got the sins off their back in regards to losing to Havoc Pink, but now they're ready to try and take on their first tournament win since getting Kilo on the team. And their last tournament win was a seeding tournament win back at the very beginning of the season. But that's it from the bracket tonight, everybody. Without further ado, I think the players are in the lobby. I think we're ready to go. And yeah, let's get the players in. Let's see, best of 7 between these two teams. Let's see who can end up getting the win here. Let's go. Drew, take it away.
All right, game 1. It's always kind of the feel-out game here, especially in a best of 7 series. It's more of, I always like to say it's more of a marathon than a sprint in this one. You got to kind of feel out the other teams, see how they're playing, and make adjustments from there. 3v3 a lot of times can be just about adjusting your play style, but now we've got Kilo taking it off his backboard here. He's going to get quickly jumped on, and Swift going for a demo here early. Coast going for a shot, and it's high up off the backboard, and now we've got Pulse coming up. Now past mid to Swift. Is he going to be there? No, and now Kilo is going to try to take it down.
There we go. Already some great off-ball pressure from both teams at the beginning of the game. But Mr. Chair actually looking to try and get the first goal on the board, but no goal just yet. Both these teams, they're very well known for their demos, their off-ball pressure. As Mr. Chair gets a clean demo in net, but a miss from Kilo, that might be an empty net. Can they get back? Mr. Chair, he will always get back. Another solid 50 on the goal line, and it looks like we will still not get a first goal here after 1 minute's already gone by.
Smoking Guns looking to get out of their own half here, but Teal, good pressure. Coast going to try to go for double off the backboard. Almost gets it. Swift also hits it off the backboard here. Zay now trying to get it going. Chair's got his back, though. Flicks it on target here, and Smoking Guns going to open up the scoring here for the series.
in the, at least in the semifinal we watched with Smoking Guns, Mr. Chair definitely looked like the most solid player on his team. Zay and Kilo, they had their standout moments and their deterring moments, but Mr. Chair was Mr. Consistent in the series we got to see on the mainstream. And again, we're seeing him once again step up and get the first goal. I believe he scored the first goal in both the semifinal and the grand finals. He is hungry to get this win.
Yeah, and he's got that dominance. He's the only dominance in the lobby, so that's got to say something
Best
about
star in the
who
game.
he is
Let's
as a
go.
player. So we'll see here. Teal now looking to get possession, but there goes Chair hitting it high up off the backboard there. Coast now going to try to clear that one away. Kilo tries to get it past one. Swift though tries to hit it off the wall, and Zay now going to try to get a pass out here, and another goal comes in for Smoking Guns. There's the man himself, Mr. Chair, doing the job for his team, and looks like just a little bit too much pressure for Teal here, but still lots of time for them to maybe bounce back. We'll see. Maybe they have a plan on the kickoff to get things going. Pulse does win it. We'll see. Zane, though, is going to grab the boost here. He does get beat by Pulse. And now Swift is there. He does. Oh, it's off the post. Now Chair is going to go and try and take it out. Coast keeps up the pressure for Teal, though, but looks like it is going to be cleared away. And counterattack here for Smoking Guns. And Pulse does ultimately stop it here.
All right, we can't let the series go along too far. We got to bet on who we think is going to end up winning this series. Oh my goodness, Coast could have put that one in. He's putting in a little good bid for anyone who wants to cheer him on. But Deluxe Drew, who do you think is going to end up winning this series?
On this one, I gotta say, I think it's gonna be Teal. They have a lot of momentum kind of heading into this one. So does Smoking Guns too, obviously after their big rematch. But I think Teal has a lot to play for. Having no points heading into this, right? So they really want to try to get as many points as they can heading into the championship playoffs here at the end of the season. So I don't know. I'm gonna put my bets here on Teal.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go against you on this one. I think Smoking Guns, they want. I think they're more in a fashion where they want to get Kilo his first tournament win. They won the seeding tournament with Rebel, who's now in Havoc Pink, and Smoking Guns have now beaten Havoc Pink, but they still haven't yet to get that first win with Kilo. They managed to get their first win against Havoc Pink, but still yet to win a tournament. So I think Smoking Guns, they got the motivation, but will they be able to stop the offense that we all know and love from Havoc Teal?
Yeah, this is just real good pressure here. Not afraid to jump up. Pulse knows his teammates are going to be on the way back, even if he's not getting that. So he's real hungry for it. They don't just want to roll over there, especially down 0-2, 2 goals in a row. We're all tied up here, so a lot of momentum for Havoc Teal on the bounce back here. Hopefully they can get out of this pressure that's coming out from Smoking Guns. Looks like they might get out here. Pulse has a little bit of boost to work with. Gets by his teammate. A little bit tough here. This might try to take it out. Coast does touch it. We have a demo from Pulse. Maybe open something up, but our man Chair has a lot of boost, and it does get chipped away here from him.
They looking to do what he always does, trying to start up a possession to get the ball down the field. He ends up getting completely dunked on, though, and the quick counterattack here from Pulse. Pulse off the backboard, followed up from Swift. Can he get the double? Leaving it for Coast, as a matter of fact, and they still can't find the back of the net. Ball back out to this corner here to Mr. Chair. He's taking his time. He ends up giving away the ball, though, to Pulse, and a great demo will open up some time and space for the side of Havoc Teal. Into the air comes Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair flicks the ball out. And every single series we've seen so far has been an overtime in Game 1. Maybe we'll see another one here, as both these teams, their offense looks very similar, their defense looks very similar, but who will be the standout player to clinch out the win for either one of these teams?
Yeah, and it's funny enough that you say you had overtimes in your first 2 games, because both of my series, the first game was just a very dominant win, both by Havoc Teal and by Smoking Guns. So it's funny to see them here in a Game 1, fighting for their lives here, so to speak, with it all tied up here, as Pulse gets a save on the goal line. And we got 20 seconds left, all tied up. Will we see an overtime again on the mainstream, or will someone clutch up for either of these teams? Double demo comes out. Zay's going to look to try to take it down. Unfortunate spawn half is there, punts out Mr. Chair. And we'll see if there's one more opportunity for Teal here.
Mr. Chair slowly dribbling. He gets bumped. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, Another overtime on the mainstream.
Wow.
It's not the 0-0 overtime we saw at the very beginning of the night, but still, fantastic goals, some fantastic goal line stops. But which team will be the one to open up and take this first game? We saw a brilliant set of goals from Mr. Chair, but that's going to be Zay completely getting beat. Coast manages to get the overtime goal. And this player right here, Coast, I've been talking him since he joined the league. I've been talking about him. He's been solid. He's been consistent. He has been a standout player every single game we see him in. And of course, it's him who gets the overtime goal.
And thank goodness he made it for the match tonight, as there was rumor of him potentially not making it for game 1. So, good thing that he's able to get in here. As I believe we will change servers.
Yeah, we will be changing servers here. But honestly, changing servers can be weird for some people. Some people, it helps them, like they get that little bit of a break, win or loss. It helps them out. But Drew, if you just came off of a win like that, would you want to have to deal with switching servers, or would you want to get straight into that next one?
So I think I would use the time to maybe talk about the game with my teammates and just make sure, I would mainly make sure that everyone's in a good mental heading into this next game. Because even though that was, hugely unfortunate for Smoking Guns to lose like that, you hate to go up like that and then lose. They were up, and, there are reasons why they were up, and there's reasons why that, they were ended up not winning that too. But I think I would use the extra time to talk it out and just make sure that all my teammates know that, we need to just have a good mental heading into this next game and just forget about the past on this one.
Yeah, definitely. But hopefully they have what it takes here. Let's see if Smoking Guns has what it takes to take a win here. And honestly, Smoking Guns, they are trying to get that first win for Kilo, but if anything, that might put them under so much pressure. Because, of course, Havoc Teal, they are trying to get as many points as possible. In their eyes, they've already qualified for the Academy playoffs, even without participating in Split 1. So, and it honestly might be a situation here where Smoking Guns have so much more pressure than Havoc Teal that if they're going to take a win here in this series, it's going to be one of the more fantastic wins we've seen from any team.
Have an opportunity here for Smoking Guns as Mr. Chair is going to take it up. Ceiling shot opportunity. He does get it past one. Coast does hit it down. Swift gets demoed as he tries to take the possession. And now we might see a 50-50 in the mid. Swift tries to follow it up. He hits it off the side wall. And now Coast is going to try to pass it over to Swift, who's in the corner. Maybe pass towards the mid, and Chair does get the save. Coast is going to have a free ball opportunity. He hits it off the backboard. Goes for a bump, and Zay's going to 50 with Pulse. Swift tries to get it off the wall there. Kilo now going to send it across, and Demo comes out. Lots of pressure coming out here for Teal, but looks like the defense for Smoking Guns is just barely passing for now.
Zay taking possession down the side wall. Will end up pinching that ball way into the corner. Coast gonna be looking to try and set up a teammate mid. Doesn't get the touch that he wants. Actually, in fact, he doesn't get any touch. And setting up the side of Smoking Guns. Zay looking for the shot, redeems himself from the missed touch in overtime, and brings it back to a 1-goal lead for Smoking Guns once again. But as we all know, Havoc Teal, it doesn't matter if they score first or score second. They've been able to win games no matter how the game starts.
See what these teams have cooked up on the kickoff here. I always like seeing when in 3v3 what teams do on the kickoff, because there's so many different opportunities. And there it is. Smoking Guns going to use the kickoff to extend their lead there. Very quick off of that. Good pop there. Mr. Chair, awesome kickoff. Kilo able to get the touch past the rest of the defenders on that one. And Havoc Teal going to look to bounce back there. Got to forget about that one and just try to get the next goal here. I mean, 2-goal deficit's really not too bad here, and just as we say that, Pulse might have an opportunity, maybe double touch off the back there. Very close. Coast going to try to clear the box there. Swift 50-50 to the mid here. Some fakes, and Pulse now going to have an opportunity. Kilo going to be in net to save it, and now Pulse going to hit it back towards the mid. Looks like the possession might go back over to Smoking Guns here, and Coast, good challenge in the mid. Is he going to be able to follow it up? Oh, looks like Zay gonna hit it back to Swift. Pulse in the mid and a banger. What a great shot, great infield pass, and just like that, Havoc Teal going to try to scrape their way back into this one.
And again, the aggression, the offense of Havoc Teal is what's standing out for us in these games. Both teams seem to have the off-ball pressure down. They both have players, after they're in front of the ball, they look to apply off-ball pressure. They look for the demos, they look for the bumps. But the main difference we see between, hold on one second, Mr. Chair wants me to shut up about them, as they will tie up the game here. Or sorry, not tie up the game, they bring up the 2-goal lead, and that's what we love to see from Smoking Guns. But as I was saying, Smoking Guns are getting these goals from demos, from solo plays, but we're missing the attribute of those passes. We saw maybe one good pass from Smoking Guns over the last couple of series, whereas when we look at Havoc Teal passing solo plays, every part of the game is at least attempted in their game, and it mixes up their game to the point where Smoking Guns have to read them in a whole different way. So Smoking Guns, hopefully they can start adding a little bit more abstractness into their gameplay, and maybe we can see them not only come back in this series, but try to win the whole thing.
Yeah, and they have to feel like they were robbed in the last game, right? I mean, they had the lead for like so much of the game, and they weren't able to come out with the win. So they're really hoping to get the win here in this game to tie up the series, and they'll just put them one step closer to becoming the winners here of the grand final. And just like that, Smoking Gun's going to extend the lead even further. Bardowski for Mr. Chair. He might even look to try to get a hat trick in this one. 2 minutes and 6 seconds on the clock, so there could be the opportunity for that. But I just think the defense for Smoking Guns is really big for them right now, too. Everyone's seeming to be able to get involved on defense here. Maybe that is just due to the way Havoc Teal is playing. Oh, I've been in the net and off the post. Absolutely insane. Havoc Teal wanted that one to try to get their comeback going, but looks like Zay here might have an opportunity. Kilo going to follow it up, and Smoking Guns, they're making a statement here. They want to tie this series back up.
Definitely, and they're doing it in a fantastic fashion. And we didn't get to see what Smoking Guns were like when they lost a game, and I don't believe you guys got to see what it's like for Smoking Guns after they've lost a game before either. I think it was 3-0 for the quarterfinals, 4-0 for the semis, and now we're seeing what it's like for Smoking Gun to be down in a series. We haven't really seen that all split long, since every single one of their series they've won the first 2 games for the most part. So it's great to see them finally showing us what it's like to be showing us what a team needs to do when they're down in a series. They need to come back, and need to come back strong, and they're showing us that right here.
And right here, it's all about the mental heading into the next game. You can't let these two games really affect you too much. Just like that, Smoking Guns is able to turn around. I think Havoc Teal, they needed to come back with a short memory on this one, and they did end up having a pretty big comeback here. Looks like this one might be a little out of reach for them, but I think heading into this next game, they just need to look at it like my man Gibbs likes to say. If you're in a 1-1 series in a best of 7, really you're just playing a best of 5. So they just need to forget about these first 2 games and just look at this like it's a brand new start. And I think that's going to be the best for their mental heading into this next game.
Definitely. And here we go. Half a minute left in the game. Let's see if we can see any clips. Can we see Pulse maybe, be his namesake? Or, you know what? Kilo. Going to show up once again, putting in a ball in the back of the net. Look at that. Zay, he gets a brilliant 50. Mr. Chair pinches it mid. And Kilo, that's how you support, ladies and gentlemen. You want to know how to support your teammate? You support close, you support from behind, and you support facing that play. He did all three parts of a supporting player. And he does so, and he shows us what it's like to get a goal after you do support properly. Let's see. Do we see the Brazil? Do we think we see a Brazil here, Drew? And
there
yeah, there we go. Yeah, you were gonna say Brazil, right?
I was definitely, yeah, for sure, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
There we go, folks. That's gonna be a Brazil in game 2 after a overtime win from Havoc Teal. So, and honestly, Havoc Teal, they know they're the new team coming into this, but they have a fantastic mindset. The only loss that Havoc Teal have this entire split was to Havoc Pink in week 2 of split 2. That's their only loss recorded in Havoc history at this moment in time. And right now, but even though they've only had one loss, where they've gotten wins in game fives. They've gotten wins in the end of a series where either team can take it. They've managed to get wins in the past. So going into this next game, I think Havoc Teal are not going to let a Brazil happen again. I think they're going to really show us what it's like to truly be winners. But at the end of the day, it's a grand final, and grand finals are a whole different beast compared to any other series.
Yeah, just lots of shots in that game. So any game where you have lots of shots is always exciting. So hoping we get another one like that. I think we're heading into game 3. I want to make a deluxe Drew prediction here. I want to say that this next one is going to be a little bit more slow than this one, so I think there might be less shots overall heading into this one, but we'll have to see if that becomes true. I could be dead wrong, and it could be just another one like this, but I feel like there might be a little bit more nerves heading into this game, maybe. But we'll see if that
My
becomes the case
prediction,
here.
just because for some reason, outside of the semifinal, Smoking Guns can never string together 2 amazing games in a row. I think this third game will actually be a little bit more ping pong. Both teams a little nervous to see who will take the lead in the series after this game. I think that would be my prediction here. A little bit more ping pong. I'm hoping there isn't, but if there is, I think there will be.
What a shot there right off the bat, Coast. All over that one, but a nice save comes out here from Smoking Guns. Swift gonna get a nice little setup here for Pulse. Pulse might just head out of his own possession though. Chair gonna try to take it down here. Maybe he's going down for a bump. Swift able to avoid it and set up Coast. Coast not really able to get a too threatening touch going here, and now Zay's gonna look to get out of his own half. He tries to pass it in to Mr. Chair, but he's not able to make the touch, and now Havoc Teal are going to try to make their way here out of defense, and Chair has something to say about that. He's making his way down the field, and Kos is going to go ahead and dunk him.
Kilo taking possession out of his own half. Manages to get it around 1. We're taken away by Zay now as he 50s the ball and wins it over to the side. Tries to have a teammate follow it, but the ball will actually get tapped back into their own half by Havoc Teal. And here comes Pulse. Pulse looks like he switched off the Fennec. We're going to see probably a couple car switches from Pulse. He's been known to switch every single game, but oh my, Pulse not able to get the 50 past the defenseman in there. And right now, I mean, the game's actually looking, as you said so far, it does seem to have slowed down just a little bit. I mean, granted, we haven't seen a goal in the first 30 seconds, which is already an abnormality after the first 2 games.
Yep.
But yeah, the series has definitely slowed down. Neither team want to be the team to get scored on first.
Yeah, we'll see. The opportunities haven't been, pretty quantifiable for either team here. Just 3 shots for Havoc Teal and 1 shot for Smoking Guns at this point. So it's looking in the favor of Havoc Teal to potentially take the lead back in the series. But just as I say that, Pulse gonna pop one off the backboard. Kilo eventually going to grab that possession, and now Coast going to go for a double tap. Not enough boost, though. Chair going to miss the touch. It does get hit to the side, and now we have a clear for Smoking Guns coming out. Coast tries to bait one in, and he does hit it past 1, past 2. He's got Mr. Chair in net, who's going to hit it off his own corner. He might have an opportunity for a shot here. That he does. There might be an opening here. Swift is not able to get back his last man. And Smoking Guns, even though they're losing the shot battle, they are going to take the first goal of this game.
And sometimes it's all about the quality, not the quantity of shots. And that's what teams like Slothhounds have shown us in the past. Sometimes it's the quality of shot that's more necessary than how many you end up getting. And right now, Smoking Guns, they managed to have both quantity and quality goals last game, but now they're looking to try and score this first goal and just can they maintain the lead? I think if they can just maintain, maybe get 1 more goal, keep it a 2-0 game, I could definitely see them going to that next game with confidence. And gaining confidence in a grand final is spectacular. I don't know how many everyone in chat or even you, Drew, have been in grand finals, but if you can get confidence in a grand final, the feeling is just absurd. Like, you feel like you can't lose.
Yeah, I remember with my team, we did Cookies League, and we were in the grand final for that one. And with one of my first tournaments, I got earnings, and I know I was shaking during that series, and sometimes you just have to take a second to step back, take a deep breath, and Just realize that all you gotta do is do what you did to get to that point, because there's a reason you're in that match, is because you played well and you're capable of playing well. And at this point, Smoking Guns is doing a good job bouncing back from an unfortunate, game one that they ended up losing.
There we go. Swift will pop that ball up the coast. And actually, that's one outside the overtime goal. I honestly haven't seen, I haven't said or heard Coast's name very much throughout this entire series. He's normally a player that he cuts into rotation, getting the ball, cutting the ball in awkward situations, making the other team hate playing the game. But we haven't really seen that since the end of game one, really. And honestly, it's allowing Smoking Guns to really show their experience, since they're the only team in this grand finals with split one experience.
Havoc Teal putting on lots of pressure. Coast off the backboard. Swift might be able to have an opportunity here, and Kilo gonna bump him out, rotate his way back to the backboard. Swift now possession. He's gonna hit it towards the mid, and Zay does hit that one away. Coast gonna try to hit one back to the mid. We have potentially a double commit out of Havoc Teal. Bull's gonna try to take the possession back after getting the boost here. He's gonna foul it up. Maybe do a pinch off of the sidewall here. That he does. He grabs a boost, and now he's going to look to pinch it down to the mid. It's a little far. Chair hits it down. A couple awkward pinches here, and Coast low boost. He does get a touch towards the mid. He has nothing, but he's jumping to clear the box. Pulse now, a little bit of boost to work with, and he takes it off the wall. Passes it back to the mid. He's going to try to get out of the way. Demo comes out. Coast might buy his team a little bit of time here to get a comeback and tie things back up. But it looks like Smoking Guns, if they can just hold on here, they might take the win.
What did I say? 2-0 win. I said it. And right now, Drew, I mean, Teal aren't looking bad, but Coast is not looking like himself. That's the whole point. My whole main point was earlier is just Coast is normally the player that can 1v3. He can 1v3 while playing with his team, and it's a very weird set of skills to be able to have, because you're able to 1v3 and carry, but at the same time you're able to utilize your teammates to their fullest extent. But honestly, we haven't really seen that. So what do we think Havoc Teal have to do here going into the next game to try and bring the series back?
I mean, the shots did pick up there at the end of that game. I just want to point that one out. I was a little bit wrong about that. But Havoc Teal there, if you would ask me that question last game, I would have said that they need to kind of work together more on defense, just because they kind of had one person playing that defensive role all the time, which kind of limits what they can do on offense. But this one, the saves are kind of spread out. They just didn't get enough of them at that point, right? So I really think what Havoc Teal has to do is just really play for possession as much as they can, and see if they're able to just kind of hold off these attacks from Smoking Guns. But I think really what it might come down to as well is just kind of being more annoying on defense too, because Havoc, they're kind of just rotating back to defense, and they're not really kind of sticking around to make the life of the other team harder.
Exactly. And something that so many teams, especially lower mechanical teams, which these teams compared to the rest of Academy are mechanical, but of course compared to main league, they still have a long ways to go. And one thing we do have to consider that not a lot of players are able to do is that off-ball pressure is not just something that teams like to have. Off-ball pressure is a necessary part of Rocket League. Otherwise, you're giving the team free space if you're not looking for demos both on offense and defense. And right off the bat, we're already seeing some more demos from Smoking Guns. They're really amping up that side of their game, but Havoc Teal, they have to make sure that they're applying off-ball pressure, keeping those possessions going, because otherwise, Smoking Guns, they're looking like a team on a mission, trying to get their team their first tournament win since the seeding tournament.
And looking at the scoreboard, it's looking like Coast might be having a little bit of ping issues. He's jumping into the red there a tiny bit, so you mentioned that, we haven't really been seeing much of him, so maybe that has some kind of influence. Not sure how. I haven't been looking too much at the scoreboard, so I'm not sure how long that's been going on, but maybe we'll see if he's able to get a little bit involved. But at this point, we're just kind of ping-ponging this ball back and forth here. Teal kind of softball towards the net, which is going to eventually get saved away to the mid. Coast now hits it down, and Chair's going to hit it to Kilo, who might find his way out. Pulse, though, a little tiny amount of boost to work with as he lands, so go and steal a boost. we'll see if Havoc Teal can push through, but at this point, it looks like Smoking Guns might have a good opportunity.
Mr. Chair sends the ball down. We'll bounce off the backboard, looking for the follow-up pass. Mid-shot, goal for Kilo. Smoking Guns still unanswered by Havoc Teal. Havoc Teal has not scored in almost now a game and a half at this point in time. Smoking Guns, ever since losing that overtime, maybe that's what they needed to spark them, to wake them up in this grand final. And right now, they're looking to try and gentlemen sweep the grand final. Still a lot of time here in game number 4, but still, there isn't much time in a grand final for a team to fix their mistakes.
Yeah, and it's really crazy as we have another goal going in for Smoking Guns. They're just really hungry for it. Not a ton of shots in this game, but like you said earlier, it's the quality of the shots, and Chair is able to slam that one home right on the goal line. We have Chair leading the match.
Oh, no. 2v3 until he comes back, folks.
Uh-oh.
The playoff. Oh,
I didn't.
it looks like
he's
he is back.
joining.
Okay. Oh.
I wonder, did he like go and change car or something? Like, that's funny though. So we'll see. Havoc Teal. If they lose this one, it's not technically the end of the world for them, as Swift is now putting some of that off-ball pressure on with that demo. Kilo now gonna pass it back to his teammate, and Zay is gonna save it away at the goal line. Coast gonna look to keep the pressure in for Havoc Teal, and that does get cleared back, but Swift keeps that pressure in. Bum comes out for Pulse here, and it does go to the back of the net. Great shot from Swift. Havoc Teal looking to claw their way back in. They are down in the series here, but you know, they're not letting that affect their mental too much. And it looks like Coast might still be lagging a little bit, but looks like, you know, they're gonna look to try and get back into this one.
There we go, and Zay just bounces off the ball off the kickoff, but a kickoff goal for Mr. Chair brings it back to a 2-goal lead. Smoking Guns, this is the best day I've ever seen for Smoking. They went to they played a doubleheader last week, 2 matches, and they ended up not playing well. But now, apparently the losses they took last week in the doubleheader is what they needed to potentially get themselves to a point to win a tournament.
Yeah, and every time Havoc Teal goes to come back, they score that goal. Smoking Guns seems to be able to find that response goal so quickly, and that's going to be tough on your mental. And another one comes in. Can't be too much easier, as we have Teal asking for a server reset after this one. So we'll see if they're able to get a comeback going in the rest of this game, as there is 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. So all they really have to do is get a couple goals in quickly off the kickoffs, but at this point, they might just be looking forward here to the next game.
Here we go. Zay gets a demo on the defensive end. That's what we were talking about, that Havoc Teal are kind of been missing. Havoc Teal, they've been missing the demos on offense, but they've also been missing the demos on defense. So there's just been so much time and space that Smoking Guns have been able to use throughout this entire series. But now Coast, he fakes them out, and now he's going to be trying to get this ball to the sidewall. That's the Coast that we all know and love, taking his time and showing himself to be a confident individual on the ball. But even though we're starting to see that confidence from Coast, we're still yet to see Smoking Guns lose any of their lead. And with 1.5 minutes left to go, I doubt we will.
And gotta give another shout out to Mr. Chair, who has currently a hat trick in this game to give his team potentially a match point scenario in the grand final for the Splits playoffs. So, you know, big shout out to him. He's got a gold Dominus. That's a pretty cool car. So, gotta love that. I think those are gold OEMs I saw there as well. So he's got the clean preset. Gotta give respect. But Smoking Guns here, they're really working hard here. They're gonna put another one on the board, as you know, they're wanting to put maybe another Brazil here on the scorecard for the series.
If they get another Brazil, I mean, I know we're gonna restart the server after this, but if they get another Brazil, I don't know how Havoc Teal mentally are gonna come back from that. I mean, it's not even the point that Havoc Teal are playing bad. It's just once Smoking Guns get a confident lead, we start seeing those mechanics. Now, I will say, in the semifinal where Smoking Guns were up 3-0, they were on match point. They proceeded to get scored on twice in the first 20 seconds. They were able to fight back and get the win at the end of the day. But once Smoking Guns are on match point, they've never been the best team in best of 5s or in best of 7s. So hopefully we can see them get on match point right now and show us what it truly means to be on that Smoking Guns roster.
Yeah, so may not get to see the second Brazil on the scorecard here, but if you're a Smoking Guns fan, you have to be happy after the results of this game here. As Smoking Guns, they're going to have a lot of momentum heading into this one. They really, you can tell kind of after that first game that they wanted to come out and prove that they shouldn't have lost the first game. And, 3 games after that, they find themselves just a singular game away from being the grand final champions here of the split. So we're going to go ahead and reset the server here, but Smoking Guns, lots of momentum heading into this, although there's a little bit of a downtime here for the server switch.
Yeah, they're on match point. They're on tournament point. They're on split point at this moment in time. And they're going to be looking to try and see if they can get that final win. And we're going to be going on, and we haven't seen, at least on the mainstream, we haven't seen any of the best of 7 maps yet. So we're going to be going on to Salty Shores Night here for map number 5. So finally we're seeing a little bit of a different map. But you know what? Let's take a little bit of a break here talking about the series here real quick. Drew, if I were to ask you, what's your favorite map, or what map would you want to see used in RLCS?
Map I would want to see used in RLCS. I would probably have to say the Hot Wheels map. That one's pretty cool. I like that it has the loop-de-loops in the background. So I would definitely say the Hot Wheels map has got to be up there for me.
Nice, yeah, yeah. For me, what's it called? If Sovereign Heights had a rainy or a stormy version, I saw this on stream I think a few times, but if Sovereign Heights had a stormy version, I think that would be the best looking map in my opinion.
Yeah, that would be really nice. Always sets the mood.
But here we go. Salty Shores Night, ladies and gentlemen, grand finals match, tournament, and split point. Right now for Smoking Guns. Can they do it? Can they win it here? Can they get the gentleman's sweep to solidify themselves finally as the best team in Havoc after 2 splits?
Havoc Teal here. Gonna have to work hard as we have some bumps coming out right away here from Smoking Guns. They're gonna try to get themselves on the board here as soon as they can. We got 2 players on the front post here. Another bump comes out here from Smoking Guns. They are not playing around. They want to close out the series here, close out the split, heading into the playoffs for the end of the season. And they're definitely playing some really aggressive, really chippy Rocket League right now.
Definitely, but luckily for Smoking Guns, this is the best match point we've seen from them, or at least the beginning. They don't get the goal, but at least they didn't get scored on twice in the first 30 seconds. So Smoking Guns doing better than they did in the last series once they hit match point. Right now, they're kind of looking similar to Slothhounds, where once they're on match point, they tend to not be able to hit their shots. Can they do it? But whoever scores first, that will be the determining factor of who wins this game. I think this series, whoever scores first will win. And honestly, I don't know who will.
We'll see if Teal's able to make something happen here. They're fighting on their back wall here to try to take this possession out and transition it into offense. We'll see if Coast can maintain control here. Does appear as if he's performing a little bit better in this game, and Pulse able to put this one away. Havoc Teal gonna take the first goal in this game. And I think the server switch might have been good here for Mr. Coast, as Havoc Teal are able to turn things around in this game.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing Coast start to wake up just a little bit. We're starting to see semblances of his usual self. But don't get me wrong. Even though I'm pointing out Coast for not looking like his usual self, I mean, that's what a grand finals does to people. I mean, honestly, throughout this entire split, I would honestly have said that Zay and Mr. Chair have probably been the more solid players on Smoking Guns, even though people consider Kilo probably one of the most mechanical players in Havoc. And but in this grand final, it's honestly been Mr. Chair and Kilo's show. Zay yet to really show us what he did in that semifinal.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Coast just ran over to his sister's room and was like, "Hey, stop watching HD YouTube videos so I can finish this series." You know, maybe there's something else going on with his router or whatever. But you know, it's good news for Havoc Teal here as we have a little bit of a nice play from Zay. Oh my goodness, and it's gonna bounce out. But Havoc Teal here just barely able to claw away on defense as Coast has no boost, but he does get a backflip flick. He's going to try to get a 50, and Kilo gets dunked on by Pulse, who hits it off of the post. And Coast is unable to finish it, and it looks like there might be a counterplay that comes out from Smoking Guns.
I think Zay must be listening to the stream, because right after I call him out for looking the weakest in this grand final, he almost gets a musty and a brilliant shot on target. At the end of the day, a miss is still a miss, but he definitely looks like he's trying to score a lot more now.
And to show off a little bit. He's in the grand finals. He said he's going to act like it. He's got his suit and tie on for this special occasion here, and he's trying to get some clips on his way out the door here potentially, but he's got to try to get his team back into this, and he's trying to do it in style here from the looks of it. Kilo doing the fundamentals there, low 50, trying to get his team to march down the field here. Mr. Chair goes for the pass down to the mid. Kilo gets the little blindside shot here. I don't think anyone really saw him coming, as I think they might all be focused there on Mr. Chair, who's going to get the 50.
The two players I've said have stepped up this entire grand finals are the one to tie at this game. I did say that Havoc Teal have the whoever scored first has the most likely chance to win this game, and I still agree on that. I still think Teal are in a great spot to win this game, but Smoking Guns are going to do whatever they can to avoid having to play another game.
I'll tie it up here, and a good amount of time on the clock, but I almost cast her cursed right there. I was gonna say, will we see an overtime? But you know, there's still a lot of time for a goal to be scored here. But we'll see. You know, will both teams kind of sit back and play some conservative defense, or are they gonna go all out here for this final minute? Zay might have an opportunity. It's wide open, and Smoking Guns are gonna go up by one here, just under a minute to go. And it looks like, yeah, just overcommit and bump on the back side there. Swift got bumped on that back
It was actually a miss
post.
from Coast. He had a free possession on the sidewall, and he just misses the ball. And, of course, the bump did help out a lot, but at the end of the day, Coast had a possession and gave it away. Now with less than 50 seconds to go, Havoc Teal have to fight back, not only to tie up this game, but even stay alive in this grand final. A miss from the side of Smoking Guns might open it up. Coast, mid, Mr. Chair ends up leaving it for Kilo. The ball pinches up high. Here comes Swift, the captain. Can he get it forward? No! It pinches back. Is it in? Zay with the second goal. 2-goal lead for Smoking Guns Gaming.
There he goes. Way to stay out there and just have somebody ready to go pressure that midfield there. That's what you don't want to do in that scenario if you're Smoking Guns. You're only up by one there before that goal gets scored. And, you know, you don't want to just turtle up and have an unfortunate shot to the upper 90 hit your net. Swift, quick opportunity there for Havoc Teal, but 20 seconds left on the clock, and it looks like Smoking Guns might have done all they need to do here to close this one out.
The last time we saw Zay and Mr. Chair in the grand final, they got beat 4-2. And before that, and that was with Kilos on that squad too. But the last time they won a tournament was a seeding tournament, and that was a good 4 or 5 months ago, I think, at this point. I think 4 or 5 months. So now, after almost half a year, Smoking Guns have won their first tournament with Kilo, and they do so in an amazing fashion.
Yeah, congratulations to Smoking Guns. It was awesome casting them today, and you know, both the series that I got to see them in. And yeah, good luck to them as we head into, you know, further into the postseason here after the conclusion of Split 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, really well played to both of these teams here, and I bet they're both looking forward to the potential to promote here into main league.
Definitely. And Havoc Teal, like at the end of the day, Havoc Teal did not play in Split 1. We have to remember that Havoc Teal went from a new team, never playing in Havoc before, never playing on stream, and actually I believe they were a new team as well. Come in Split 2, And then the only team they lose to were the Split 1 champions. And now the only team they've lost to outside the Split 1 champions are the newly minted Split 2 champions. So great job for Havoc Teal, but this isn't about them. Smoking Guns Gaming are your Split 2 Havoc Esports Academy League champions, and they will be put themselves in first seed in the Academy playoffs. And everybody, remember to stay tuned, join our Discord, !Discord, or follow us on our socials, and you can see who ends up being what seed, what the placements are at the end, after the stream has finished. But before I do my final sign off, Deluxe Drew, thank you so much for commentating with us and running the B stream. Is there anything you would like to say to the stream?
Just shout out to everybody in the Havoc community. You guys are all awesome, and everybody who is involved, from top to bottom, are all grinders. From players to production and everything in between. So it's always an opportunity, a great opportunity to come in and do casting and contribute in any way I can. So shout out to everybody out there in the chat, and if anybody wants to follow me and what I do, you can follow me here on Twitch, which is just Deluxe Drew, or if you want to go over on Twitter, it's Deluxe Drew RL, and you can keep up with me and kind of matches and things like that. But yeah, thank you guys for having me tonight.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. And everybody, just before we sign off, remember, Sunday, we have our Havoc Esports first ever 1v1 $100 tournament. Make sure to sign up, go to !Discord, or go to our social media, where you can find the link to our Grilla.gg page for our $100 tournament. So once again, thank you to our sponsors, Grilla.gg, for allowing us to run tournaments and sponsor us for tournaments here in the near future. And remember to do !Socials, follow us on Twitter, or do !Discord and find the link in our announcements in our Discord. And make sure to sign up, $100, and you can have, even if you don't win, you can get some experience against the top North American 1v1 player, as S5 Cosmic has signed up for the tournament. So make sure you guys do sign up and participate. But that's it. That's the end of Split 2. Main League's already done. Havoc Gold, Split 1 and Split 2 champions in Main League. And now we have Havoc Pink, Split 1 champions of Academy. And now Smoking Guns Gaming, your Split 2 champions. But that's it for Split 2. We have the postseason coming up now. Next week, we have the Academy playoffs and the last chance qualifier the day after. So it's going to be a fantastic set of matches in the upcoming weeks. But thank you guys so much for showing up. It's been a pleasure. And this is now us signing off. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.